Even though it's our third wedding anniversary, I still can't get pregnant, and my anxiety is growing. Despite trying to time everything perfectly, I failed 10 times in a row, Emily coldly remarked to me in my despair.
Maybe Sarah just isn't qualified to be a mother.
A month later, I got a call.
I'm pregnant with Tom's child.
What? As I stood there speechless, Tom and his mother, Mary, spoke on the phone.
I'm marrying Emily.
You can't even have children. You're so useless.
The cruel words pierced my heart. I see. I'll prepare the divorce papers.
I'll be staying at Emily's for a while. She's struggling with morning sickness, and I want to support her.
Even after the call ended, I stood there in shock, phone in hand. Tears started streaming down my face. I swore revenge on Tom and Emily in my heart. How dare they trample on my feelings? Don't think you'll get away with this. I'll drag you both into the depths of despair. I'm Sarah, a 42-year-old housewife. It's our third year of marriage. I met Tom at work. Several years ago, we started working in the same department after he transferred. His diligent work ethic and efficient nature gradually drew me to him. Eventually, he confessed his feelings, and we started dating, getting married the following year. Approaching 40, I told Tom I wanted children soon, and he agreed. I had a strained relationship with my parents and moved to New York right after high school, determined to build my own family. I naively thought I would get pregnant easily, just like many around me who conceived naturally. But I was very wrong. Tom and I love children, so I felt envious every time coworkers announced their pregnancies.
One of my coworkers is having another boy. He's happy, but his wife really wanted a girl.
Tom came home from work and told me over dinner. I see, girls' clothes are so cute, and when they grow up, you can have fun girl talk. I remembered a children's clothing catalog a coworker showed me, and felt a pang of longing. Despite the trend towards gender-neutral clothing, boys' clothes are still mostly blue, and girls are red or pink. Baby models dressed in tutus and ribbons were angels.
Well, it doesn't matter to me which gender the child is.
I answered Tom's words with a low tone of voice. You're right. I stared at the salad I was about to eat. Over the past 2 years, I've done everything recommended for natural conception. Besides tracking my menstrual cycle and basal body temperature, I switched from showers to baths to keep my body warm. I also included foods like soybeans, spinach, and liver, known for their benefits to baby development, in my diet. We took zinc supplements every day, as it's said to support reproductive health. Despite claiming he wanted children, Tom clearly wasn't making an effort. He said he'd quit smoking, but I caught him sneaking cigarettes during work breaks. He refused my homemade lunches, saying,
It's embarrassing to bring a wife-made lunch.
Continued eating out leads to a shortage of vegetables, which in turn affects fertility. Despite my concerns, Tom wouldn't listen.
Why? Infertility is a woman's problem.
I patiently tried to convince him. Not always. We should both get checked by a specialist. They can examine women's uterus and ovaries, and men's sperm quality and possible infections. Tom snapped.
It's a woman's issue because women give birth.
No, it can often be due to the man too.
No way. My mom said it's because you don't try hard enough.
I felt tired just hearing the word my mom. Now that this phrase was out there, Tom wouldn't listen to me. And I was right. Tom started talking proudly, as if he had accomplished something himself.
My mom got pregnant with me 3 months after getting married. She really wanted a child and prayed to God with my dad every night.
I see.
Yeah. And my mom says the reason you aren't getting pregnant is because you don't show enough gratitude to me or to God.
I almost laughed. What a ridiculous thing to say. I understand wanting to hold a grandchild soon since everyone's having kids, but give me a break. However, Mary, my mother-in-law, wasn't satisfied with just complaining to Tom. She started driving an hour to visit us. On weekends, she'd show up unannounced, stay from 5 a.m. to after dinner, and laugh loudly at the TV in the living room.
Can I have Morty? Bring me some sweets. You are so thoughtless.
Her commanding attitude really annoyed me. There were several times when I had to cancel my plans because Mary insisted on chatting. I want Mary to stop visiting without notice. I finally couldn't take it anymore and pleaded with Tom. She bosses me around, criticizes my housekeeping, and pressures me about having kids. It's so stressful. Despite my heartfelt plea, Tom remained unmoved. He responded irritably.
She's just giving you advice because she cares about you. You don't get it.
Her visits are really stressful. Stress is bad for trying to have a baby, you know. Tom's eyes darkened.
Are you blaming my mom for our infertility? With that attitude? No wonder we can't have kids.
That's cruel. You don't have to say it like that. I teared up, and Tom clicked his tongue and went to his room. But the next morning, he spoke to me apologetically.
Sorry about last night. You know, my mom lives alone since my dad died a few years ago. I think she's lonely and really wants to see a grandchild soon.
I thought to myself, so I just have to put up with it. I wanted to complain but didn't want to fight with Tom, who would be the father of my child one day. So I always swallowed my true feelings. One day after a while, I met my best friend Emily at a cafe and had a good chat. Emily, my best friend from high school, had worked as a web designer for a local company before going independent. She moved to New York around the time I married Tom. She now works with big companies, including Tom's team, on important projects. I don't know the details since I moved to a different department after marriage, but Emily is talented and well regarded by her colleagues.
By the way, is your mother-in-law still the same?
After talking about work, Emily asked, and I complained while sipping my black tea. She's retired and bored, so she drops by on weekends, at least twice a month.
Well, that's a lot.
Right, after 2 years, I'm really fed up.
Why don't you just divorce him? Tom always takes her side, right?
I gave a wry smile at Emily's casual suggestion. I don't like Mary, but I don't hate Tom. And then I continued. Tom also wants a baby. He says he wants a pale-skinned, big-eyed girl like me. Emily squinted slightly. For now, I plan to try for 10 consecutive cycles. If it doesn't work, I might see a specialist.
That might be a good idea. Hey, how about I mediate for you?
What?
Between you and your mother-in-law.
She proposed this as I stared in confusion.
Remember, I used to live with my cranky grandmother. I might be able to talk to your mother-in-law.
That's nice of you, but is it really okay to ask you for that?
Come on, Sarah, we're best friends.
Emily's bright smile gave me a push. All right, I'll ask you to help then. Unlike me, Emily has always been sociable and can get along with anyone. This might actually work. As we were about to part ways outside the cafe, Emily suddenly remembered something.
By the way, Tom will be working for my place starting next week.
Really?
You know, because of the new overtime restrictions. He'll finish the work at my place.
I was taken aback. But Emily, you live alone, right? It's not that I don't trust you, but... Emily burst into laughter.
Come on, Tom's not my type.
It might be. She reassured me.
I'd never go for my best friend's husband. I'm still with the boyfriend I introduced you to.
That's right. Emily smiled warmly.
Don't worry, we are just in a business relationship.
I get it. The next day, I discreetly asked a colleague from Tom's department, and they confirmed that the work-from-home arrangement was true. If that's the case, I have no choice but to trust Tom and Emily. The following weekend, when Mary showed up unannounced, I texted Emily. When I introduced her as my best friend, Mary initially put on a facade, but eventually revealed her true colors.
Sarah, don't make Tom fold the laundry. Let him rest on his day off.
Emily quickly intervened.
But Sarah also works full-time, right? They're both equally busy.
But traditionally, housework is a woman's job.
Mary faltered, and Emily continued with a smile.
These days, husbands who do housework are very popular at work. It shows they're capable and considerate. Right, Tom?
Put on the spot, Tom looked a bit troubled but then turned to Mary.
I appreciate your concern, Mom. But Sarah and I agreed to share the housework.
He then started folding the laundry. It was a significant improvement, considering he usually refused to clear the table in front of Mary. And another time, Mary brought up the news that Tom's cousin had just had their third child, sighing heavily.
Sarah, are you avoiding having kids just to spite me?
That's not true. Emily chimed in cheerfully.
Mary, you should relax a bit. Stress can cause wrinkles, you know.
Mary's eyes widened as Emily continued, her expression light-hearted.
It makes sense that Tom is handsome because Mary is beautiful. But if you keep being harsh to Sarah, you'll get more wrinkles and gray hair.
Mary, startled, touched her face and hair, then fell silent for a moment before speaking. Just when I thought she would burst out in anger, her reaction was unexpectedly different.
You're quite amusing, much better than gloomy Sarah.
Really? Thank you.
Emily gave a polite smile as Tom wrapped his arm around her shoulders and said proudly,
Emily is my important business partner.
Seems like your work will be productive.
From then on, Mary chatted excitedly with Emily, leaving me out, and left in a good mood. Tom, sounding pleased.
Emily, Thanks for entertaining my mom.
You're welcome. If you need, I can always be her companion.
Tom then gave me a sardonic look.
This one here always makes my mom angry. She does nothing but irritate my mom.
Sarah is clumsy after all.
Tom and Emily laughed, and I blushed. I knew Emily meant no harm and had helped me. But I felt a bit hurt, as if my efforts to get closer to Mary had been ridiculed. Thanks to Emily's intervention, Mary's visits stopped. Simultaneously, Tom became even busier, working late into the night at Emily's place almost every day. One day, Tom suggested with a serious expression,
I think I should cut down on alcohol and cigarettes. I want to be mindful of my diet. So could you make lunch for me?
I was puzzled by his sudden change, but if it meant he was serious about trying to have a baby, I couldn't be happier. All right, leave it to me. From then on, I eagerly made lunches for the both of us. Despite timing things perfectly, there was no sign of a baby. After work, I tearfully confided in Emily. I failed 10 times in a row. What am I doing wrong? Emily, crossing her legs and sipping herbal tea, grinned.
Maybe you're not fit to be a mother.
I stared at Emily in shock.
Why don't you just give up? Poor Tom.
But Tom wants a baby too, and Mary.
Fine, do as you like.
Emily said impatiently and stood up.
I still have work to do. I'm leaving.
Okay, sorry for bothering you. Puzzled by Emily's sudden irritability, I went home and reported to Tom, who looked exasperated.
Failed again. I helped despite being busy. When will you finally have a baby?
His words made it seem like it was my fault, and it hurt deeply. We should get a professional opinion. It's better to find out the cause. It seems natural conception might be difficult for us. Tom glared at me, wide-eyed.
No way. It's a hassle. It's obviously your fault. It's a waste of money and time.
Are you not confident? Are you scared to find out it might be you? Tom glared at me, but I glared back.
Shut up. I said no.
Our fights increased, and we spent a tense month. One evening, as I finished preparing dinner and waited for Tom, Emily called. What's up?
Guess what? I'm pregnant.
I was shocked that Emily got pregnant before me. I was disheartened, but I forced a cheerful voice. Congratulations! Is it your boyfriend's child you mentioned before?
No way. I broke up with him a long time ago.
I see. Then it must be someone else.
Yes, it's Tom's baby.
I was speechless. Excuse me.
I said it's Tom's baby.
Emily repeated clearly so I wouldn't miss a word. My vision went dark. I couldn't believe the two people I trusted so much were having an affair. When I couldn't say anything more, Tom and Mary yelled into the phone.
You were no good after all. So, divorce me. I'm going to marry Emily.
You can't even have children. You're so useless. You're in the way. So I want you gone soon.
Their cruel words pierced my heart. I understand. I'll prepare the divorce papers.
I'll stay at Emily's place for a while. She's struggling with morning sickness. So I want to support her. You prepare for the divorce and wait.
Tom hung up after saying what he wanted. Stunned, I stood there with the phone in my hand. Tears streamed down my cheeks. Not from sadness, but from frustration. My body trembled with anger. I had never been so furious in my life. Biting my lip hard, I vowed to Tom and Emily in my heart. You trampled on my heart. Don't think you'll get away with this. I'll drag you both into the depths of despair. I waited a week while preparing for the divorce as Tom instructed, but there was no word from him. When I contacted his phone, Emily answered again.
He's at Mary's house now. Tom says he doesn't want to come back to you, Sarah. He doesn't even want to hear your voice. It's sad considering how affectionate you were at your wedding 3 years ago.
Emily said sarcastically, and I retorted in kind. I don't want to see Tom's face either, but I want him to come home once so we can discuss the future.
If you don't want to see him, why don't you leave the house? I'll live there with Mary and Tom.
Are you going to buy it? It's about $300,000. It has 4 bedrooms, a southwest corner lot, a large garden, and a parking lot.
What?
I smirked slightly. She clearly hadn't heard. Didn't I mention it before? This is the land I inherited from my grandmother. I built the house with my inheritance. Emily fell silent. She must have been told by Tom that it was his house. After a brief silence, Emily asked, regaining her composure.
What do you mean by discussing the future?
Things like shared assets, and I need Tom to sign the divorce papers.
Okay, I'll come. When's good for you?
She took the bait. I chuckled inwardly, trying to hold back my laughter. Can you come next weekend? After confirming with Mary and Tom in the background, Emily replied,
Got it. I'll bring Tom and Mary.
Okay, I'll be waiting. Despite my inner irritation at how well Emily was getting along with Mary, I told myself to be patient for a little longer and waited for the weekend. 2 weeks later, after preparing everything, the day finally arrived. When Tom, Emily, and Mary showed up at the appointed time, they all had triumphant smiles on their faces. I invited the 3 of them into the living room and asked Tom again. Tom, after divorcing me, you plan to marry Emily, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't be fair for the kid to grow up without a dad.
Tom is really such a kind person. He's too good for you, Sarah.
Mary looked genuinely impressed as Tom proudly puffed out his chest. A kind person wouldn't have an affair with his wife's best friend and get her pregnant, you know. I wanted to say that, but it seemed pointless to engage seriously, so I just muttered it to myself. But there was one thing I had to say. So, despite saying it was just work, you ended up in that kind of relationship. With a sigh, Emily proudly declared,
I swore when we met at your wedding, I'd steal him from you no matter what. When we ended up working together, I felt like fate was on my side.
She then grinned and whispered in my ear.
Here's a fun fact. Both in high school and college, the reason your boyfriends dumped you was because I aggressively pursued them and won them over.
Emily spread a vulgar smile across her face as I widened my eyes.
On those double dates with my boyfriend, I badmouthed you to your boyfriend. From there, they quickly fell for me. The guys you date are all that easy, poor thing.
Emily burst out laughing.
But I can't help it. Everyone just falls for me.
I get it. Unlike Sarah, Emily, you're beautiful and fun. No wonder Tom is head over heels for you.
Mary, joining in, wrapped an arm around Emily's back and raised her voice excitedly.
I really like her, Emily. I've visited her house several times since we first met the other day. She told us old stories about Sarah, and we had a blast.
Like when Sarah was ostracized in club activities, or how she ate lunch alone because she couldn't fit in with the girls' group.
Tom also spread a nasty grin.
Emily's impressions of Sarah's crying were spot on. Emily, you're really hilarious. Sarah, you sure know how to pick friends.
I clenched my fists when I saw the three laughing. I was filled with disgust when I learned that they enjoyed mocking me.
It feels like a dream that such a wonderful person is pregnant with Tom's child. I'm already looking forward to the baby.
Mary glanced at Emily's still flat stomach, her cheeks flush with excitement.
Keep going and have 4 or 5 kids. I'll support you.
Mary said energetically, and I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Tom and Mary looked confused, so I shook my shoulders with laughter and explained. Oops, I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it.
What's your problem? If you have something to say it.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Looking at the two annoyed faces, I smiled and said, Okay then, that child isn't Tom's. Mary and Tom were stunned. I didn't miss a brief look of panic on Emily's face before she quickly composed herself.
What are you talking about?
Stop it, Sarah. Don't be jealous of Emily.
I decided to show the proof to the two who were doubting me from the start. I placed the documents sent from the hospital on the table. Tom, who looked grumpy, Mary, who was frowning, and Emily, who seemed uneasy, all peered at the papers.
Sperm count, 0.
It's called azoospermia. Tom is basically infertile, so even if he had a relationship with Emily, there's no way she could be pregnant. As Mary struggled to grasp the situation and Tom was in shock, I explained slowly. Remember, Tom reluctantly agreed to the infertility test, right? The results addressed to you arrived 3 days ago, and I accidentally opened them, and that's what they said. To make it clear, I placed my test result paper next to it. I had high numbers in all areas, well above the standard values. In other words, the cause of our infertility wasn't me. Mary, staring at the paper as if trying to burn a hole through it, had a grim expression and turned away. She probably wanted to make a snide remark but couldn't come up with anything. As I was thinking that, Mary gradually turned red and finally screamed.
This is a lie. It must be a fake prepared by that nasty Sarah, right, Tom?
But Tom frowned and looked down.
If it's true, then who is the father of the baby?
I want to know too. Maybe she doesn't even know herself. As she fiddled with her phone and displayed the images for everyone to see, Emily's face turned livid.
Where did you get these?
She leaned forward as if ready to grab me by the collar. I laughed through my nose and told her, I have friends besides you. Are all of these your potential baby daddies?
All of them, potential baby daddies.
Mary screamed. Tom was speechless too. And it was no wonder. Multiple images showed Emily cozily linking arms with different men and entering a hotel. There were 6 of them. When I heard Tom was going to work at Emily's house, I told my colleagues. They warned me, "Be careful. She's a manipulative woman who seduces married men from other companies." She was targeting men from other companies to avoid getting caught by Tom. I glared at Emily with resentment. I thought she wouldn't go after her friend's husband. I trusted her, but she betrayed me so easily. Emily started to say something but then closed her mouth and fell silent. I felt pathetic for having been friends with someone like her for so long. When I glanced at Tom, he was hanging his head with a mix of anger and disappointment on his face.
Honestly, I don't care who the father is.
After some time, Emily finally gave up. She clung to Tom and spoke to him in a sweet voice.
I chose you, Tom. You're the rising star in your department, on the fast track to success. I get along well with Mary, and I'm definitely more suitable for you than Sarah.
Emily.
Tom frowned. Then Mary gave Emily a friendly smile and spoke.
Emily, aren't you a trending designer?
Yes, I'm a freelance web designer. I'm making a lot of money. Do you dislike working women, Mary?
Not at all. Nowadays, it's normal for wives to work. I understand that.
She smiled and extended her hand to Emily.
I definitely like you more than Sarah. Please become my daughter-in-law.
What?
Wow, thank you. I'm so happy.
Ignoring Tom, the 2 women shook hands and cheered.
Mom, do you not care if the baby isn't mine?
Tom expressed his dissatisfaction, to which Mary brightly responded.
I don't care at all. You can't expect a baby in the future anyway. I'd rather have a daughter-in-law I get along with and enjoy life. It's about survival too.
Mary's remark made sense to me. I turned to Emily and offered my congratulations. Good for you, Emily. You always talked about wanting to marry an elite company employee and have kids soon.
Are you over it already? Such a simple-minded person. Well, thanks.
Looking between the cheerful Mary and the frowning Tom, I added, "It'll be tough from now on, but good luck. As your former friend, I support you. Now, Tom, sign the divorce papers." Tom finished signing the divorce papers when Emily suddenly remembered something and raised her voice.
By the way, we haven't talked about the shared marital assets yet.
Well, about that, it's easier to show you. I opened a mobile app and showed Emily the family shared messages, causing her face to turn pale.
What is this?
She was shocked by the exchange between Tom and Mary displayed on the screen.
Tom, I lost $1,000 again today. Give me some spending money.
Again. This is the 3rd time this month. I'm already paying off the debt from your gambling. So cut it out.
Don't be stingy. You make a lot of money, so give some to your mom.
And on another day,
If we start the fertility treatments for Rayal, I won't be able to give you money like before. From now on, you'll have to play within the limits of your pension and dad's savings.
What? No way. It's a child's duty to support their parents. Do whatever you want with the fertility treatments, but keep giving me the money like before. Let's say $5,000 a month, all right?
while Emily was stunned, I explained calmly. It seems they mistakenly sent their personal messages to the group chat. I was shocked when I saw it. No wonder Tom is reluctant about the fertility treatments. Taking a deep breath, Sarah gave Mary a sharp look. While pressuring your child to have a baby, you ask for gambling money. What a mother.
Shut up. It's none of your business.
Exactly. It's no longer my business. So, take care, Emily. She patted the shoulder of the dumbfounded Emily. You and Mary get along well, so I'm sure you'll be squeezed for money from her. Good luck with that.
But debt is part of the shared marital assets, right?
Emily's voice trembled as she looked at me fearfully. I've already taken steps to forfeit the debt, and Tom has been dipping into our shared savings, so he'll pay that back along with the alimony. My declaration made a vein pop on Emily's forehead. She stood up abruptly, shouting angrily.
Are you kidding me? I chose him because I thought I could live lavishly, and now I have to take on his mom's debt.
Emily.
Tom, wide-eyed, was glared at hatefully by Emily.
Enough. I'll raise the child alone. You just keep being mommy's boy.
Emily stormed out, slamming the door, her shoulders shaking with anger. Mary, watching the door in shock, puffed her cheeks.
What's her problem? How rude.
Beside a furious Mary, when I thought Tom had moved, he suddenly apologized to me.
I'm sorry, Sarah. It was my fault. I was pressured by that woman and lost my way. I realize now that you're the only one I truly love.
Mary hurriedly joined in apologizing.
That's right. We were deceived. We didn't think she was that kind of person. So please reconsider the divorce.
She smiled awkwardly, rubbing her hands together.
I've already started the process of selling my house. We were supposed to move into Emily's place tomorrow, so this sudden change is a problem.
Mom, this is the first I've heard about selling the house. Wait, did you lose more money on horse racing? Or was it an impulse buy?
Tom turned pale, and Mary blushed, lifting her handbag to show it off.
Look, it's a new luxury brand bag. Isn't it lovely?
Seeing the high-end shoulder bag, Tom covered his face and groaned.
Again, give me a break.
That house is old and shabby. I want to move to a nicer place. I like high-rise apartments. This house is nice, too, so I can move in.
Mary spoke grandly, scanning the room.
Sarah, you're kind, so you won't abandon us, right? Let's put the past behind us and get along.
Mary's audacity made my anger boil over. I shouted vehemently. You were the one who brought up the divorce in the first place, so stop messing around. Tom, get the moving arrangements done by this weekend, or I'll throw everything out.
I'm begging you here. Can't you compromise a little? You're so cold-hearted.
Let's communicate through our lawyers from now on. We're done here, so leave. I hurried Tom and Mary out of the house despite their grumbling. Things seemed to be going well for Emily and Tom, but when the wives of Emily's affairs reported her to her boss, her project got cancelled. Emily was fired, and our company's relationship with her ended. Emily tried to find a new job after paying alimony to me and the wives of her affairs. But her bad reputation spread throughout the industry, and no one would hire her. Unable to pay her mortgage, she moved into an old apartment. After giving birth, she put the baby in daycare and took on multiple part-time jobs to make ends meet. Tom, exposed for his affair with Emily, also left his job. He had to sell his family home to pay for Mary's shopping spree and moved into a rundown apartment with her. Tom used up his savings to pay me alimony and to repay the couple's savings, making life difficult. Despite this, Mary didn't do any housework and continued gambling, leading to constant fights between her and Tom. Their landlord, fed up with the noise, has been pushing them to move out. I need to have kids soon. Freed from that pressure, I returned to working full-time and dedicated myself to my job even more. The next year, I was promoted to manager. Eventually, a younger coworker confessed his feelings for me, and after dating, we got married. Soon after, I became pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. My in-laws were kind, and we built a warm family together. Every day, I cherish the happiness of being with my adorable child, my in-laws, and my husband.